In today's episode of Jasanswers, we're going to answer a question from Bituin Glorioso, and Bituin is asking. She just wants to start her freelance business, and she would love to transition to being a full-fledged freelancer. So I'm assuming she's doing part-time freelancing right now. She wants to move to full-time freelancing, and her question is, as you do consultation with your clients, on what part do you talk about your rate? I mean, are they aware of it even before they inquire? Or do you offer a package at the beginning of the call, in the middle, or in the end? Or you offer it as you submit a proposal after the consultation call? And how would the process of the payment be? John the legend, once mentioned that freelancers should get their money before they even work, as compared to home-based, which was paid after they do the work. Does that apply? And does the client do down payment, full payment, and then full paid in the end, or you ask them the full payment at the beginning or in the end, after you are done? Okay, so it's a pretty long question. I'll try to answer it in a short period of time, but first of all, congratulations Bituin on making that transition to becoming a full-time freelancer. You've seen the benefits of doing it part-time, and now you're stepping into full-time freelancing. Now, with regards to rates, your question basically is asking about rates. When do you charge rates? When you present packages. So what I usually do more in the past is when I had a consultation call with a client, it's the initial call is what we call like the discovery call. Okay, but before I discuss this, take note that it's different for every kind of freelancing that you do. So in most cases, you do go through something like Upwork or onlinejobs.ph, where there's already an expectation of how much you're going to charge and how much the client is going to pay you even before you talk to the client. There's that kind of agreement. It's not finalized, but there's already a small agreement, and then once you discuss, then you can finalize how much you're going to charge. That's usually how it is, especially if you're still new, especially if you're starting out. But as you gain more experience, as you become more skilled at your craft, and as you become more of a consultant than a freelancer, then that can change. And if you're asking about consulting, remember, consulting is usually it's more high level. It's more complex. You need more experience, and it's not something you can do right away. So, but if you do get to a consulting level, what most people do, including John, me and John are friends, so I know how he does his process. Is we have an initial discovery call, basically, where we find out more about one another. The client's going to find out more about me, and I'm going to find out more about the client, and we're going to agree and see if there is a fit, if you can work together. And sometimes I don't want to work with some clients. Sometimes clients don't want to work with me. So sometimes it doesn't always fit. But we have that initial discovery call to see if there's a fit, to see if there's a need for me to really help out and for my services. What I do, I charge consultation fees when I talk to clients, but in most cases when you're doing, I charge consultation fees because I don't do the work. I tell the client, okay, you can have somebody else do the work, or you do it yourself, but this is what you need to do. But in most cases, for most freelancers, what you're going to do is after the discovery call, you're going to create a proposal and send the client a proposal, and that's when you'll talk about the rates. In most cases, you don't talk about the rates during the discovery call. You might give an estimate. You can ask you can ask the client, what's your budget? And the client can ask you, what do you usually charge? But you don't have a final amount yet. That's when, after the call, you can email a proposal, you can talk to them and tell them, okay, based on the discovery call, here's what I recommend and here's how much it will cost. And what most freelancers do in that case is they have percentages. So they get paid in, depending on how much the project is completed. That's in most cases. Okay, there are special cases in different scenarios. Like John usually does rev share. I usually get paid up front. 100%. But in most cases, what you do is you have different. Let's say you're creating a plan for the client, a social media plan, and it's a 3-month plan. So on month 1 you get paid this much, on month 2 you get paid this much, on month 3 you get paid this much. So you pay. You're paid a little bit up front, and then you're paid in like installments. Like if you're hiring somebody to do construction on a house, you have to pay them a little bit up front, maybe like 50% up front, and then you pay them 20% or 10%, 10%, 10%. So that's how it usually is. So I hope I was able to answer your question. It's a pretty complex topic, and it really depends. There are so many different scenarios, but I hope I gave you a good overview of how it works. All right, if any of you have any question, any of you guys watching have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later.